Going back in the beginning when you said you hit rock bottom just for fun, once you finally figured it out and you started doing these new methods, how fast did it take all that weight off, start feeling better? Was this like 6 months, a year, or was this like 30 days? Like how fast did the body work for you?
It was quite quick for me, actually, and it's not that way for everyone, so I do want to preface that. But my rock bottom was actually I got a concussion.
How's it going? I'm Brad Williams, personal trainer and host of Over 40 Fitness Hacks, the podcast where I help you being over 40 to fight the aging process without giving up your social life. I've been a personal trainer and gym owner for over 15 years, and I've seen it all. If any of you in the audience need a little bit of help, I always put the link in my show notes for a free 15-minute consultation just to see if I can't point you in the right direction. Other than that, thank you for listening. I also have links to my Facebook group and a link to my favorite fitness tracker, which I talk about all the time, the Whoop 4.0. I think every single person should at least use it for a little bit to gauge how many calories you're actually burning. All those are in the show notes. Let's get on with the episode. Well, Molly, let's dive into cortisol, the stress hormone. And it's funny because I just did an episode yesterday. I haven't posted it yet, but basically for the last month, I've been really honing in on doing cardio sessions. I have a little rebounder mini trampoline at home, and how awesome that's been for just burning calories, thinning down, trying to get into the single digit body fat. And what I've noticed, partially because my calories have been thrown down, which is probably messing up some hormones right there, but working out late at night, and I've heard this a million times, but it just slipped my mind. And now all of a sudden I'm having insomnia. I'm having problems sleeping. And I'm like, oh my God, it's because I've been pushing that cardio when I get home 7 to 8 o'clock at night, watching Monday Night Football. And this has been destroying my sleep. I've never had problems with sleep. And sure enough, I cut it back to my normal routine. So it just shows you, start listening to these tips and tricks because you cannot sleep.
Yeah, you can't not sleep. I have so many thoughts about what you just said because I have had a lot of people come to me as well and say like, can I work out in the evening? I'm not a morning person and like it needs to be after work. And doing cardio in the evening is definitely not the vibe. And you experience that firsthand. Cardio and like spiking your nervous system in that way in the evening is going to prevent you from sleeping well. But doing things like Pilates and some moderate strength training or yoga, that kind of stuff, I would say is safer to do in the evening. But one like philosophy that I live by and what I preach as a coach is that I truly believe people need to be adjusting their workouts and their workout routines based on their current stress levels and based on their current life. So if you currently are quite stressed in your life and you like see all that stress and you're feeling it and you're anxious, doing cardio in general is probably not the vibes that you want right now. You probably want to dial back the intensity, focus on your muscles, focus on breathing. There are a lot of ways you can adjust your workouts for your stress levels, which will then positively impact your stress hormones as a result. But that training in the evening thing is always a interesting conversation because I've definitely had people ask me that before. You just got to choose the right workouts.
Yeah. So you could do something later at night, but more yoga, Pilates, something a little calmer, probably better off. So besides like working out and doing cardio, like or HIIT training, what are some of the other worst offenders for spiking that cortisol too much that we should be watching out for?
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that I see is just doing workouts that are too long and working out without rest days. So every workout is going to spike your nervous system some. I mean, some workouts will spike it more, like cardio or high intensity workouts, but all workout is going to spike your nervous system a little bit. So even if you're doing Pilates, but you're doing it for 2 hours, that's still your nervous system being on edge for 2 hours. And if you're already in a place where life is stressful, that's just going to then tip you over the edge to then where your stress hormones are negatively impacted. And your mental health is probably also negatively impacted. So I would say long workouts are a big offender. I would also say not taking rest days for the same type of reason is a big offender. So I used to be one of those people that just thought I needed to sweat my stress away. So when I felt really stressed and when I felt overwhelmed, I was like, I need to work out longer and harder. and that's going to fix everything, but that's actually going to make everything worse for you.
Yeah.
Because if you're pushing your body to that extreme, that means your nervous system are also being pushed to an extreme, and that's then going to impact your stress hormones in a really bad way. So it's just about being kinder to yourself. And then I would also say, I don't know who started this myth. Maybe you can tell me. But someone started a myth that a workout is only effective if you like can't breathe and you're like huffing and puffing at the end and you're like
Yeah.
gassed and lying down and you can't function
Yeah,
afterward.
I'd get clients all the time saying, "I didn't sweat during that workout." I'm like, "That's not the point of what we're doing
Yeah.
here. Doesn't
Yeah.
take much stimulation to get the body to, build more lean muscle." And
Yeah.
for working out, at least, that was what we wanted. Raise the BMR, get more lean muscle, have it burn more at rest.
Yeah, exactly. But people, for some reason, think that they need to reach that
Yeah,
state of burnout, as you've seen. But as you said before, deep breathing is what's helped you regulate your nervous system the most. The same goes for your workouts. If your workouts are causing you to not be able to breathe, that's worse for your nervous system. So that's negatively impacting your nervous system the same way deep breathing helps. Not being able to breathe in a workout hurts. So I really encourage people who are dealing with hormonal imbalances or anxiety, or just they feel a bit stressed and they know that if they push themselves hard, it's going to get worse. Make sure you can breathe and talk through your workouts. So do the talk test, see if you can speak in a sentence while you're moving. And if you can, good. If you can't, dial back the intensity a little bit. So those are the biggest mistakes I see people making, is just too intensive workouts, too long of workouts, not taking rest days, and not allowing themselves to really breathe. I always think if you can connect your breathing to your workout, it's going to be so much more effective for your nervous system. So doing a squat, inhale down, exhale up, as simple as that. Like, make your breathing a part of your workout instead of something you're always chasing in your workout.
exactly. Yeah, that's what kind of by force I had to start training less and with less weight too after I had my little back injury. But my routine right now is 3 days a week, 30 minutes. And I'm nonstop, but I'm not high intensity. I'll do my exercise and move right on to the next one. And I'll probably complete more exercises than a lot of other people. But my thing is more time under tension, really focusing on getting effective reps, using that muscle with less weight and slower, and recovering 4 days out of the week, and just seeing like, oh my God, I have the body of my late 20s with next to nothing work. Like, how great is this? And then the rest of the time you spend on resting and nutrition. And, I still do one 15-minute high intensity session a week because I do know the cortisol levels are going to get jacked up and affecting the nervous system. But there are some benefits from doing high intensity workouts, but you don't need to do that all the time either. So,
Yeah, that's where I really stand by, like, adjusting your workout routine based on your current stress levels. Because me, 5 years ago, I could not have done a second of HIIT, and I really should not have been doing any cardio as well because my body was so mixed up and in a bad place. But now that my hormones are balanced, I could do the same as you, where it's like I could do a HIIT workout here and there. So you really need to allow your body and your routine to adjust for your current stress levels, your current life, your current goals, like what's going on. I feel like a lot of us get stuck in our ways where we think, okay, this is the routine I need to do. It needs to be push, pull, legs, HIIT. That's what I'm doing. But sometimes that routine doesn't work for you. But it sounds like my workout style is the same as yours, because I'm also working out 4 days a week, 30 minutes, not heavy weights, and I'm in the best shape of my life. So there we go.
yeah. Do you think between male and female that cortisol hormones or other hormones affect females more than males, or do you think it's just everyone's unique genetics and what's going on in their life?
Everyone is unique. I will say cortisol is a hormone that I do think impacts both male and female quite a lot. There are other hormones that females are much more affected by, but cortisol is one that I've worked with men, I've worked with women, and you're all getting that lower belly fat. You're all dealing with some anxiety and some sleep issues. So cortisol can impact both. Women are affected a lot by hormones just because of our cycles and how things are literally changing day to day, week to week, where men are luckily don't have to deal with all of that. So your hormones are fluctuating throughout the month for females, but cortisol does affect us all. It is that stress hormone that we can all claim victim to.
Any supplements or nutrition pieces that can help with cortisol, or is it more of just rest, recovery, and keeping that nervous system calmed down?
So with cortisol, what I usually first help people approach their cortisol with is adjusting their workout routine, adjusting their habits and their lifestyle, like deep breathing, walking, getting fresh air, drinking enough water. I would say water is a big one that I would have people start with that kind of falls into that nutrition category. I don't have people start off with supplementing. That's never the first conversation that I have. If you do find that you want to start doing some supplements, there are definitely some that you can do. Omega-3 is a good one. Magnesium is a good one if you're having cortisol issues. But I would say the best place to start is with just tweaking your lifestyle and
Mhm.
focusing on more fresh air, more water, more deep breathing. And that's usually enough for a lot of people. So a lot of people in the fitness industry would try to sell something and say that it's overly complicated. But doing the things that are more simple are going to give you those stress relieving effects that you want. But obviously, if you are thinking, how can I adjust my diet and stuff like that? Like focus on protein, focus on like feeding your body. Don't underfeed your body if you are dealing with hormonal issues. That's another big thing that a lot of people, especially women, jump to. They're not losing weight. They have hormonal imbalances, so they start eating less, and then that makes their hormonal imbalances worse. So I would say just make sure you're eating enough, focus on eating good protein, focus on drinking water. You can supplement, but focus on your lifestyle first.
Going back in the beginning when you said you hit rock bottom just for fun, once you finally figured it out and you started doing these new methods, how fast did it take all that weight off, start feeling better? Was this like 6 months, a year, or was this like 30 days? Like how fast did the body work for you?
It was quite quick for me, actually, and it's not that way for everyone. So I do want to preface that. But my rock bottom was actually I got a concussion. I was forced to stop doing the lifestyle that I was doing.
Hmm.
So I was recovering from that injury. I was not able to exercise. And then once I started introducing movement back into my life, it was a lot less. And then I realized all these symptoms I'm experiencing have gone away within like probably 30 days, 60 days. And then I was like, okay, I need to tweak my lifestyle as a whole and tweak my workouts and see why this is affecting me so much. So, because my life was so extreme, being able to change my lifestyle really did impact me. And I was able to see positive effects after 1 to 2 months. I've worked with clients that have had the same. I've worked with clients that have been closer to 6 months. So it is different for everyone. But when you are working on your hormones, if you are doing the right things, I would say after a month, you should feel a bit better.
Yeah.
Should feel like I feel a bit more energized. I don't feel as tired. I don't feel as bloated. Within a month, you should feel like I'm feeling a bit better. You may not reach your end goal and like be in perfect health, but after a month, you should be like, it's changed.
At least you know you're in the right direction. So,
Mhm. If you're doing something and you feel like you're doing a lot of stuff to heal your hormones and you're not feeling better, you're probably doing too much and you've probably veered off of your healing path and you need to like dial it into something else because you should be feeling better, not worse. So that's definitely something I always encourage people that I talk to keep like a journal of how you're feeling. And if you notice that you're feeling better and better each day, that's a good sign. And if you're not and hormones are something you're specifically trying to work on, then something's not working.
yeah. No, I love the journal method because I journal everything that's working, everything that I need to stay away from. And then you don't have to do it every day. But then 4 months from now, I'll look back and be like, oh my God, I stopped doing that one thing or I kept doing the other thing that was affecting me. Our brain just lets things go sometimes.
It does. And that's why journals can be really helpful because then you can be like, okay, what was I doing that was so effective? And then you like flip back and, oh, here it is. I also find that journals are really helpful if you are dealing with complicated things like hormones or mental health or chronic illnesses, because then you have this like data journal to bring to a doctor and to be like, make it make sense. And they're not just like pretending your symptoms are fake, which I know happens to a lot of people, unfortunately. But you're like, here, help me figure it out. I've written an entire
Oh,
doctorate on this point. Yeah, exactly.
cool. Well, Molly, how can my audience get a hold of you? What's the best way? Website, social media, where are you?
Yeah, so I am everywhere. I'm in all of the places. I feel like if you've listened to this conversation, you've related to what I've been saying. One of the best places for you to start would actually be my free ebook that I have written. So I have written a completely free, easy to understand ebook all about mastering your cortisol. And it's not just basic advice. We're going to get into really personalized tips in this to help you really identify if your body is producing too much cortisol, and you'll learn exactly how to adjust your lifestyle progressively and how to adjust your workouts to support your stress hormones. So in that ebook, I've written everything that has helped my clients start losing weight after dealing with cortisol belly for years. So if you are interested in that, is on my website, which is just my name, mollymcnamee.com/cortisol is where you can get the ebook. But yeah, I'm also everywhere. You can find me on Instagram under my business name, which is MFit, M like Molly, fit like fitness, period, workouts. So feel free to message me there. You can message me over 40 hacks and we can chat about this episode if you want.
Awesome. Well, cool. My audience always knows I put all those links in the show notes so they can just click on those. But I really appreciate you reaching out to me. And it's funny that I just was affected by cortisol in, I don't know, probably the second time in my life. So
Perfect
selfishly,
timing.
I wanted to get you on the show to get more knowledge, at least for my own problems.
Yes, I hope this has helped. And you should get my ebook too. It may tell you a thing or
Absolutely. Well, great. Well, thanks again for coming on.
thank you.